adorable games, Winter Wasteland, supporting the Heartland Animal Shelter. We have our next one coming up just now, which is going to be Cory in the house with a nyiddle. But before we do that, we do have a donation for you. We have received $20 from Nemayoki, who says, nyiddle forced me to donate. Well, I'm sure they didn't, but thank you very much indeed for that very generous donation. Remember, they're all going towards the Heartland Animal Shelter, so please keep those donations coming in. And now we have this fascinating looking game. I'm going to hand it over to nyiddle. Take it away.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are ready for a wild ride, for sure. Nemayoki, thank you so much, by the way. So, what we've got here is a DS game called Cory in the House. Obviously based on the best-selling anime, going by the same name. What this game tries to do a lot of things. It's an action-adventure game. It's a bit of a stealth game. It's a bit of a puzzle game. It's a bit of a rhythm game. If you've ever played or heard of Osu, I would say this is probably the inspiration for that. So, time will start when I press normal. I'll give you guys a little countdown. You can also listen to this rockin' jam. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. So, we are Cory. We are in the house. The house being the White House. The plot of this game is basically, Cory had this dude named Wisley. I think it's Wisley. He doesn't show up in the show as far as we know. He contracted Wisley, like any good businessman would, to, also out-of-body experience, right quick, to make these bobbleheads. But the bobbleheads, because they're Bluetooth Wi-Fi enabled or something, they've gone absolutely berserk. And they've kind of mind-controlled everybody in Washington, D.C. So, obviously that's a big problem. Right now we're grabbing some things in sort of the tutorial section. We need a baked good called a Nikishka, and we will be using that as our primary weapon to stun enemies. Right now we need to go get the lemon sauce for the Nikishka. Nikishka, by the way, not a real food item. Feels like maybe they could have just used, like, a real dessert and gone with that, but no. We have a made-up thing from the show called a Nikishka, and that's going to be one of our main weapons. So, right now we're talking to Sophie, and we're going to be coming up on our first mini-game. This game, much like a lot of other sort of rinse-and-repeat Disney titles and stuff, really harps on the mini-game aspect. So we're going to be doing a lot of mini-games. There's going to be a lot of repeats of mini-games. And there you go. Not too bad, right? It's a very straightforward sort of, like, this era. This game came out in 2006, I believe. This era had a lot of these sort of games where they just sort of took like a Nickelodeon title or a Disney title, and they just kind of took the property, made a little DS or Game Boy Advance game, and that was sort of the routine back then. 2008. Thank you. So this run has recently undergone some optimizations, believe it or not. The boss strats have changed pretty significantly, mostly thanks to two runners, one of whom I can't say their full name on stream, but the other of which is 7HAK, the current world record holder, and an absolute legend. He's been giving me a lot of advice in the last few days. So we got to talk to our dad. We've been doing a bunch of stuff. We're collecting bobbleheads. We talk to our dad. We get some French fries for Sophie. We're going back to Sophie. We're gonna give her the French fries, and we should be done with this section. This game has a lot of, like, sort of trigger points and stuff like that. Like, you have to interact with people and talk to people to advance to the next section. It's sort of just a way of making the game take longer, it feels like. But I guess it serves as a tutorial, if you have no idea. This is the driving minigame. So, not only is Cory in the house, Cory is also in the streets. And also, Cory is in the mall, and Cory will be in a few other places. So first, in the mall, we're going to talk to this drunk dude. He's way too intoxicated to be in the mall. And then we're going to come over here to this electronics shop. And we're going to talk to this guy. And first, we're going to ask about Kung Fu Box, because why wouldn't you? And second, we're going to ask about selling our bobbleheads. And he's going to say, oh, you got to fix my sign. So now we are going to fix this sign, and Cory is now sus. It is taking Cory way too long to do wires. I'm pretty sure Cory vented. Okay, so Cory did the wires. That's one task complete. Pretty good. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to talk to Mina. And then we're going to talk to this lady by the perfume stand. And lady by the perfume stand basically tells us... I was just making sure I got the interaction. Lady by the perfume stand tells us she wants a relaxing CD. So we're going to... we're going to swagger our way over to the CD store and grab this CD, hopefully. And now we're going to go talk to this lady, who I believe we have to do 3 interactions for. I messed this up in practice the other night, so I think we're good. And now we can play the drums. So, first rhythm game. This is the first of several rhythm games. They get progressively less effort-inducing. They kind of give up towards the end, it feels like. So we get to play along. I'll let you guys enjoy some of the music. You know, Cory's just rocking. So there's no real way to speed these up. This is kind of like an auto-scroller type section. You kind of just have to endure it. But hey, perfect. It's Osu. It's the inspiration for Osu. So we have Among Us. We have Osu. There's a bit of stealth. So Metal Gear Solid. Let's throw that in there. Oh, we have to go talk to Newt. How could I forget about our homie Newt? So we say, what's up, Newt? And he says later. And that's about it. We pass the drunk guy, still drunk in the mall. And now we're going to go give this lady her CD. First, we're going to ask her about Kung Fu Box. Then we got to sell her some bobbleheads. And now we're going to go find some stuff. We're going to go find some money in the mall, of course, as you do. And Kung Fu Box. There you go. We got Kung Fu Box. So now we're going to go talk to drunk guy, give him Kung Fu Box, and we're done. That's it. We're out of the mall. Cory is no longer in the mall. Cory is back in the house. I think. Right? Yeah. So, we're gonna go play with our band. This is, you know, just the best. Just the best gameplay. I'm really glad they decided to put in, like, 18 rhythm game sections. So, you should know, if you fail this, you have to do it over again. So we really don't want to fail it. Normally, I would just kind of mash through these and not care about the points. But I've said to myself, for every missed note, I will donate $1 to charity. So, for the purpose of saving my wallet, I'm going to try not to miss any. But some of these notes are actually really hard to hit. And because the rhythm part of this rhythm game is mostly a suggestion, you'll notice, like, we're not really playing to much of a rhythm at all, and we're getting 100. Like, it's just not very good. For a while, I thought this was due to emulation differences, but I've spoken to people who run this game on the actual DS, and they say, nope, it's just, that's just how it be. It's just not quite on time. We're gonna play this solo. The solos are kind of optional, but you gotta rock out when they give you the opportunity. Another question you might be asking yourself, or something you might be saying, wow, this MIDI soundtrack sure is great, but couldn't they have used, like, an MP3 or something? Like, didn't the DS have slightly better sound chip capabilities than, like, 1995 PC Click Venture games? You know, like, this sounds like Sound Blaster 16 up in here. So, the answer is, yeah, the DS actually could play back MP3s. It did in such hit titles as High School Musical 2 had actual MP3s for the rhythm game sections, with vocals and everything. So, it is, I don't know what part of the decision-making process they were at, where they were like, we're gonna have a rhythm game section, but we're just gonna go with the MIDI sound sort of thing. We don't need voices, and the instruments can be really, you know, cheap and rudimentary, and that'll be good. These are the hardest parts to hit. Okay, that's $1. You would think... That's $2. You would think you just follow the ball, and it's straightforward. That's $3. It's not that straightforward. Surprisingly easy to miss. Okay, so I think we missed 3 total there. Yeah, we missed 3. Okay, so that's $3. Somebody keep track for me. Alright, and we are done with this section. And that was pretty good. We didn't lose a whole boatload of time, as far as I know. We gotta get out of here. Not bad. Not bad. We have many more rhythm game sections coming up, so don't worry. So now it's time for us to go to the school. We've been to the house. Cory has been in the mall, the house. He's been in the streets. He's in a car right now. Kind of messed that up. Now we're gonna go to the school. School Days, as the very clever title says. Also, I have some cats going nuts in the background right now. They're just so hyped about this Cory run. They just can't contain themselves.
That is absolutely amazing. I can just see them.
He just he just decided to scale that chair in the background there. So
Can I use this opportunity then just to remind everyone that we are supporting the Heartland Animal Shelter. So if you like the fantastic kitties that you see, please feel free to donate to help cats and dogs everywhere.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you very much indeed.
Thank you. Yeah, please keep those donations coming. It's a great cause, and we're having a lot of fun here. I like to think you guys in the audience are having a lot of fun too. Guys, gals, everybody. So, Newt is locked in a room. That is like kind of Newt's shtick, I guess. That's sort of just what happens. He always gets locked in stuff. I don't know if that's true to the show. I haven't watched enough Cory to really know for sure. You'll see me, I'm just kind of damage boosting and Naruto running through all these sections. It's not a huge deal. It's not a lot of time loss. It almost takes more time to throw Nikishkas at them than to just damage boost. So 3-5 star. Doing our second keypad here. 5 pound 4. It's like Simon Says, but with a twist. Numbers. 1912. And I just repeat them back to myself because otherwise I forget the numbers like a genius. And it's a big time loss if you mess up because it sends you 1 back. So we're gonna go inspect this vent, and now we're gonna call our buddy Stickler, who's gonna tell us he has an awesome invention that makes us super sus. And now Cory is in the vents, or I guess Buzzy's in the vents, but we are Buzzy, and therefore Cory is in the vents. So, you're probably asking yourself, why? Good question. I don't know. We're a fly. We're a remote control fly in the vents, and we're going to use this to unlock doors throughout the game and like get to places that we normally couldn't. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, I don't understand how the fly is unlocking the door. In the case where Newt is in the room, why can't Newt just unlock the door himself? We don't need money for anything, but I'll be collecting money for, you know, just memes, just meme purposes. There are upgrades in this game. You can upgrade your Nikishkas. You can upgrade some of the later weapons that we're gonna get. But for as far as I know, they serve no purpose. The world record holder has told me after testing there is no point to upgrading any of your weapons. So we're not gonna be doing that. Just gonna forget that that's even a feature. So yeah, there's a lot of forgettable features in this game, like the map. The map is a feature that I did not know actually existed until yesterday, but we can check it out. It's right here, and it's actually kind of useful. Sorta. But for the most part, we know where to go. We won't be needing the map. So you see, Cory has a bunch of different run animations depending on how damaged he is. Right now we're at the Naruto phase, and after this point, Cory just goes into complete shambles. So we're gonna try not to be at that point. Health really isn't a problem until the final boss. The final boss can sometimes be a bit of a nightmare. I will be doing a safety save state before the final boss, just because this is one of those infamous DS games where it's extremely punishing, and if you die and you have not saved, which we won't be doing, the game sends you all the way back to the beginning. It's like, oh, you haven't saved? Well, we didn't make any checkpoints for you. So, you know, if I wanted to be dramatic, I would say we are always on, you know, just the thread of potentially losing this run completely. It's very high intensity. So this is our first boss, Candy. We're going to press these buttons on the floor, which is going to make her do that. And then we can throw into Kishgatter. As you may have noticed also, we are no longer Cory, we are now Newt. Cory has all sorts of abilities, becoming other people, out-of-body translocation. You know, much like his sister Raven, Cory is extremely talented in a lot of supernatural kind of ways. So, that was first boss fight done. GG, no problem, no sweat. We're gonna call up our homie Cory and say, yo, I'm done. I don't want to be Newt anymore. So, now we're Cory again. Cory's on the second floor. And we're gonna push these refrigerator boxes, which wound up in the school somehow. The school is in shambles. Like, the teachers have run amok. The mind control bobbleheads have clearly completely scrambled their brains, and you know, everything's a mess. And it's up to us, Cory Baxter, to fix everything. So we get another keypad minigame, 658. So yeah, if you mess one of these up, it sends you back to the previous level of the keypad. It's like probably a good 10 to 15 seconds time loss for every time you mess up. So we're going to be trying not to do that. 5, 0, 4, start. Nice. Very well done. So we're going to come up here. Sometimes it doesn't put you in the door. We're going to grab this key. So I suppose I should mention, you may be admiring the model for Cory Baxter. You say, wow, DS? This looks like it could be PlayStation 5. This looks very next gen, you know? You know, I would agree for the most part. The dude who made the models for this, he actually has a DeviantArt where he has the models, like, T-posed. Like, I guess, Disney let him keep some stuff for his portfolio. And, so if you're interested in knowing how many bones Cory has, I believe he has 21 or 18. I think Jessica has 21 bones, but Cory has 18. So we're gonna do a little trick here. Cool, right? Like, now we're gonna head back down from whence we came, and head into the next area where we have. So, okay, that's actually not true. There is some cool strats in this game. This is not totally stratless. The next boss fight, Juicer, has a very interesting strat that was only recently discovered. Shoutouts to 7HAK again. So, how this fight works is we have to tire out Juicer by running around. It's usually, like, pretty slow, and there's kind of, like, some inconsistency in how long it takes him to tire out. What we're going to be trying to do, and we're going to be following a specific path while we do it, is we're going to be trying to tire out Juicer right when he gets to a certain point. So, like that. That was one. Good. We just need to do that over and over and over again. Good. And this was actually a recent optimization, and it's kind of cool because before some of these boss strats, they're like, it was just kind of just do it as fast as you can, you know? But now we have a consistent way to tire out Juicer. This strat was so big, actually, that Kyle Massey, Cory Baxter himself, actually recorded a video shouting out some of the runners who helped sort of optimize this category. Nice. Perfect. That was a perfect juicer fight. That was actually really, really good. GG. Alright. Cool. So now we're going to do another bypass minigame. We got to do some more wires. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, please. Yellow to orange. Green to blue. Blue to yellow. Orange to red. Nailed it. Like, you know, not that hard, right? But I've messed it many, many times. So anytime I get it right, I'm patting myself on the back, 100%. Okay, so now we're back in the streets. Right, up, right, up, right, up, left. And now we're out of the streets. So we're coming up on our next rhythm game, which honestly is probably the best time for donations or anything if we got them. Just because it's we're just kind of clicking orbs. Again, for every orb I miss, $1. We're up to $3 currently. I'm gonna be trying my best here. Normally I would just mash and, you know, guarantee that we get these, but see, as you can see, they've given up. They've completely given up. It's not at all in rhythm with the song. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, thank you very much. Let's, if you don't mind, we'll have a few quick words.
Go for it.
I hope everybody is enjoying the run. It's an experience so far, is how I would put it. But it's been absolutely fantastic. Remember, you are watching the Horrible Games Winter Wasteland, supporting the Heartland Animal Shelter. Please, please, folks, see if you can get those donations in. The Heartland Animal Shelter are absolutely fantastic. And remember, all your donations do go towards them. What I'd like to mention is in 2020, they saved the lives of 979 animals and found homes for 1,002 dogs and cats. And they're looking forward to saving even more lives in 2021. So every little dollar helps. It's an absolutely amazing cause. I'm very much an animal person myself, as I think Nyiddle is as well.
Certainly.
So,
as a cat dad.
It's a really amazing, yes, it's an amazing, amazing cause. So please, folks, keep your donations coming in, and I'll let you carry on.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think we missed a couple orbs there. We'll see at the end what the total count is. There's a strategy you can do for the rolling ball orb, where if you just kind of double tap it, it actually, you don't have to do the thing. I did it once by accident. Like, so every time we miss, you'll see the meters go down a bit. It's really only a problem if they get all the way to the bottom. Doing this perfectly or imperfectly does not speed up the rhythm game section in any meaningful way. Okay, that's another $1. There we go. It's so hard. There we go. Like, every time. So yeah, they've kind of given up on the rhythm part. It's just game now. It's no longer rhythm. I've actually done this part on mute, and it's actually a lot easier to do, because the song kind of throws you off more than helps you. We're done. We did it. Woo. Let's see how many we missed there. 3. Okay. Alright, that's another $3. Let's see. That's episode 3. I think we're on a pretty good time. Oh wait, that's episode 3. Yeah, we are on a pretty good time. Just saying. Okay, so now we're going into the streets. Yeah, I think it's $6. Now we're going into the streets. We got a lot of stuff to do. We're gonna have to do stuff as basically every character, starting with Cory, who has to drive. There we go. Those are all the same thing. I should really memorize those so I could get those a little bit faster. But if you mess up, you have to start from the beginning, as with most things in this game. So it's like, you could either rush it and pay the price, or take it a little bit slower and guarantee you get it. So now we're in the streets, where, as you can see, this is a national emergency, right? Like, this is a problem. Cars aren't moving, people are roaming around, you have post office bins, like, tipped over, you got... just, it's terrible. Like, if I didn't know better, I would think we were in Silent Hill. But, no, this is the result of these, you know, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth bobbleheads. So, we're on our way to the cafe. I only recently learned that there's a bunch of, like, side quest sort of things that you can do in this area, and you don't have to do any of them. There's only, like, one thing that you have to do here. Well, we do have to do this keypad, which opens up a gate to the right for some reason. 0*1. Yeah, they're, like, you gotta go get a newspaper for a guy, you gotta, like, send out a letter for another guy, you gotta get some lady a bunch of fruits. There's a fair handful of stuff that you don't have to do. And I did not know this until just recently. And as you can imagine, saves quite a lot of time not having to do any of that stuff. We're not quite there yet, but I'll point it out when we get there. Right now, we're going up to the roof. Let me in the door. Thank you. So we're just gonna run right. A lot of this game, it comes down to just like movement optimization and stuff. Like, you want to try and not get slowed down by these dudes. You know, just sort of not bumping into stuff. That's, like, kind of unavoidable. Like, if it's unavoidable, it's better to just bump it than spend a bunch of time trying to get around it. But okay, blue to yellow. Cory is sus. Green to blue, orange to red, yellow to orange, and red to green. Beautiful. We did it. Amazing. Cory is a genius. Alright, now we're gonna head off the roof. Look at that. Look at that walk cycle. It's beautiful. Cory is like, despite everything going on around him, Cory remains strong. And you can tell by the way he uses his walk. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the cafe where we don't have to do anything. We just have to talk to a guy, and then we call up our boy, Stickler, and we say, hey, get me out of here. And he's like, sure, see ya. This is all we have to do. I didn't know this. Like, there's a lot of things that we can do here that just waste time. Instead, we just call Stickler and we say, yes, we're done here. Section done. Easy. Easy done. Okay, so now we're gonna play as Newt, who is also being dispatched to the streets. It's important to mention that in the guide for this game, there's kind of like one real run guide, or it's more of a notes thing, just sort of goes line by line. It says, talk to Newt, and then the next line says, become Newt. So that's why we've been kind of goofing around and saying Cory is, like, embodying all these people, you know, like, for a little bit, Cory becomes Newt. Cory becomes Mina. So, that's, like, the meta lore. Cory can sort of leave his corporeal body and inhabit other people. That's just, I don't know. Maybe that happens in the show. I haven't watched enough of the show to really be sure. So now we're Newt, and we're in the mall. And we gotta do a couple things in the mall. As I said before, Newt's whole shtick is getting stuck on places, or in places. So, basically, every time we play as Newt, we play as him until we get stuck. And then we play as somebody else to get Newt unstuck. And that's all the Newt sections, really. This is the second Buzzy game. So, worth mentioning, Buzzy has a bongo. It sounds horrible. That is not like an emulator thing or anything like that. That's just how it sounds in the game when you crash into stuff. It's terrible. Also, we should have enough money to do a meme. But, anyway, so we're dodging these wires and stuff. If you stay too close to the wires, they lower your health pretty quickly. The batteries obviously give us more health. There's been a fabled out of bounds here, where, like, I think if you, like, clip into something like that, you can, like, maybe pop outside of the walls. I don't know. It's it's kind of a legend at this point. I don't know if there's any video of it. Me and 7AJK were talking about it, and we were like, it would be kind of sweet if you could just go in a straight line and you didn't have to, like, shoot all these webs and stuff. But, you know. Hey, it's gameplay, right? I bet somebody said that when they were making this. They were like, hey, it's gameplay. I guess. Oh, so Gradius actually got their inspiration from, I almost forgot to mention that. So add it to the list. You got Osu, Among Us, Metal Gear Solid, World of Warcraft. A lot of these games took inspiration from Cory in the House. Cory in the House, it's like the mother sauce. You know? Like how they have a sauce going and they just keep it going for years and years. They make all their other sauces from that one. Cory is the mother sauce.
I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, all things are derived from Cory, one way or another. Alright, so now we're Newt. We're on the roof. Can you guess what's going to happen to Newt on the roof? I went for it. It's not even worth it to try throwing. I'm just going to damage boost past everybody. So since your health recovers every time you switch characters, or basically every time there's a scene transition, like, health isn't too much of an issue. Like I said, up until, like, the last boss, where we might need to pick up some slushies, which is how we get health. Again, I don't know if that's a reference to the show. I don't know if they, like, loved slushies in the show. Green to blue. My brain is working overtime. Okay, there we go. Jeez. The one nice thing about doing this game on genuine hardware is on a touchpad, you can actually do those wires by, like, putting one finger on one side of the screen and then the other finger on the other side of the screen. I'm doing that with a mouse, so I actually have to physically drag them. But you can kind of... There's a nice little strat on touchscreen, which is why I should probably give this a go on genuine hardware at some point. And now we're stuck on the roof. Haha, laugh track. Yes, laugh track in video game. Good. So now we're Mina, and we have to recover Newt, who has gotten himself stuck on the roof. We're basically going to follow the same exact path that Newt followed. Not much deviation here. Sometimes I can get past her without getting hit. I'm going to squeeze through here. Hilarious, I know. Well, the game is so funny that they had to put a laugh track in to show you when to laugh. Just so you knew. This is when I'm supposed to... Oh, this is the funny part. Haha. There's also, like, an abundant amount of text. You may have noticed we're just, like... The text, when it comes through, it's just like... Thum, 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 thum. If you were to stop and read all that text... It's just a lot of text. Like, it's kind of a filler mechanic, you know? A lot of this game feels like there's some filler stuff going on, where they just kind of needed to pad it out and make it as long as it could be. So, speaking of which, now we're doing another keypad. So star 5-4. So this is as you can see from my description, this is why I think this was a good pick for this marathon. It certainly fits in the horrible category. Although the Metacritic reviews, if you ever want to have a laugh, this game was like Metacritic review bombed with 10 out of 10. So there's a lot of reviews that are like, this is the best game I have ever played. This game changed my life. You know, a lot of stuff like that.
I bet it did, but
I bet, yeah.
quite in the way they're saying.
Yeah, it certainly has changed my life, but I don't know if for the better necessarily. Yeah. It is a game, I will say that. Speaking of which, time for a rhythm section. Here we go. This is second to last rhythm game section, actually. We're getting there. We're working our way through. This one's kind of a banger. A big problem with running these games is these songs will 100% get stuck in your head. You will wake up in the middle of the night in a fever dream sweat because these songs have, like, just absolutely drilled their way into your brain. We're getting some very interesting lag. Ooh, nice. Alright, that was a good one. This is the hard part. Like, this is where we could potentially be breaking the bank. Oh, nice. Alright. Now we're back to guitar. So, this is canon, right? In the show, Cory did play in a band with his friends, right? However, I would like to assume that the music that they played in the show was slightly better than this. Like, I don't know if these songs are based on songs that they played in the show. I've always said we should come up with, like, mock lyrics for them. You know, just based around the game and its quality, or lack thereof. Oh my. I'm sweating on these, on the singing sections. Oh! There we go. There's $1. It's rough. There's not really much actual fear of failing out. It's just... Oh! The worst part about it, I think, is the sound has become like a negative ASMR sort of situation, where every time I hear the fail sound, my brain, like, recoils in horror. Because I'm like, oh no. So now we're doing a rockin' guitar solo. Really, the best song in this game, I would say, there is no best song. But of all the bad songs, the one less bad song is probably the Buzzy song. It sounds a little bit like a song that might be in Doom or something like that, or like a Game Boy Advance version of Doom, maybe, or like a very, very low quality MIDI port of a Doom song is maybe where I'm going with that. Okay. We're almost at the end here. These songs go on way too long. I think you guys may have noticed. It's like 3 minutes. I think the longest one is like 3.5 minutes. it's a long song. You never see songs that long in like DDR or Osu or like other rhythm games, because they know that's just a little bit too long. Oof, man.
Do we have a second for a quick word then?
Oh, please.
Finishing off that song?
Absolutely, go for it.
Very much indeed. Okay, folks, remember you are watching the Horrible Games Winter Wasteland, supporting the Heartland Animal Shelter. We are watching the fantastic, and you can interpret my pronunciation of that word as much as you like, Cory in the House. It is, yeah, it's a thing, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. It's been absolutely fantastic so far. Remember, all your donations do go towards supporting the Heartland Animal Shelter. Let's get some more money for the poppers. $348 at the moment. So if you could get those donations in, it would be really appreciated. Remember, we did meet our hamster goal. So we're going to be seeing some furry rodents later on. And I absolutely adore them as well. So I hope I hope everybody's looking forward to that as well. And yeah, we'll let you carry on, Nyiddle. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, let's keep those. Oh, I didn't equip the suit. I just bought the suit and I didn't even equip it. I bought it for a meme. Wasn't even didn't even equip it. Okay. So, we're back in the streets. I think this is the last time we have to be in the streets. This time, there's a little bit of RNG. We got a Secret Service dude who, if we run into him, he'll actually stop us. He's either on the left side or the right side. So you just have to plan your route accordingly. It's not too bad. But yeah, we're moving sort of into the final section of the game. And I will say, we are on a very good pace here. I suppose I should give some backstory on how I came to run this fantastic game. So, before I started speedrunning anything, I had said for my first speed game, I would learn this. I would learn Cory in the House on DS. And I wasn't a man of my word. I did not end up sticking to that and learning Cory in the House as my first game. But once I started actually speedrunning, I sort of went back to it, and I was like, you know what? It's terrible, but it's not like the worst game ever, you know? Like, I did a lot of mental Olympics to sort of justify picking up this game. And eventually, I sort of came to run it, and it's actually, like, you know, I run a lot of games, mostly horror games, of all the horror games I run, this is, like, it's not that bad of a run. I mean, Silent Hill 4, you know, is, like, very RNG heavy. It's kind of rough. This game is not... It's not Silent Hill 4, so therefore, Cory in the House is a better game than Silent Hill 4. And there's my official opinion. Don't at me, please. Anyway. So, we were Mina, and we met up with our dad. This is like the second to last Mina section, I think. We're approaching the end of this run, surprisingly. We are in sort of like... I don't even know what we're supposed to be in, like what part of the White House this is. But it has secret buttons. This is like the puzzle-solving part, right? Where it's like, oh man, how am I ever going to push the boxes onto the buttons? There is actually a kind of like soft lock for that room. If you push the boxes incorrectly, you can kind of screw yourself out of the solution. We're just going to squeeze up through here. Fortunately, we didn't goof it, which is good. We're going to come over here to this hidden bookshelf book, which, of course, every house has to have a hidden bookshelf book. And we're going to do another keypad. So the keypads have gotten progressively harder. We're going from 2 combos to 3, and at the end we will have 5 combinations to do for our keypad. But for the most part, it's the same thing. It's just rinse and repeat. Like I said, going along with a lot of other sort of like Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Game Boy, and DS titles, they just were like, yeah, put like 4 minigames in, a little bit of running around, but like mostly focus on the minigames. That's what people really want. They really want minigames. Give them more buzzy, you know? This is the song. Let's just enjoy the song for a minute. It's got something going. Like, I would listen to a cover of this song if it was by, like, an actual band, you know? Like, with actual instruments, it might actually be an okay song. But it does have a very, like... It's like a, you know, rip and tear until it is done. Except we're a remote control fly-in event. But, yeah. So, all these stars, they give you cash. Like I said, cash is meaningless. Money is no object. We are Cory Baxter. What does Cory Baxter need with money? He's the richest man in spirit. But yeah, we're slowly making our way to our final boss. So far, basically everybody that we've fought has been like friends of ours or people who I believe are in the show outside of, because they have like last names and stuff from what I've seen, which makes me think that they are characters in the show somewhere. The final boss of the game, as far as we're aware, oh yeah, some nice clipping there, by the way. Final boss of the game is not in the show anywhere. Whistly, we don't think he's in the show. Could be proven wrong. I'm not necessarily fully up to date on I haven't watched the anime in a while, so I don't fully know, but could be the case. I'm gonna have to remember at the last save point to change into my business suit, because that actually is a huge time save. No, not actually. It's just it's just for memes. You can buy different outfits for Cory, but they serve no real purpose. It would have been kind of cool if the purchasable upgrades and the other stuff you can buy actually kind of like had a purpose, but sort of doesn't. So we're coming up on Alan. Alan also has a very similar sort of janky boss fight glitch mechanic that we're gonna do, similar to Juicer, but Alan's is actually a lot easier to do. So we come over here and it instantly tires him out, and we're gonna do the same thing. Oh, we're gonna throw the Kishkas at the wall apparently. We're gonna do the same thing on Sophie, and that instantly tires him out, and then we're gonna... Good. Gotta watch my health. Health is a little bit low. We're gonna... Come on, Alan. Oh, come on, Alan. Oh, don't be like this. There we go. Bump into Sophie. That tires him out. So you can't use this... The weapons of choice here. you're probably asking yourself. We're using a mind erase spray, kind of like some Men in Black type gadgetry, and we're also using a ink pen that works as kind of an oil slick. We're going to be using that on the final boss. But for the most part, every boss consists of throwing Nikishkas at them and using the mind erase spray. Like, there's really not a lot of... There's only, like, 3 weapons in the game. So what else were they going to do? So let's go to the store real quick. This is, you know, a little bit of time loss, but now wearing business suit. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Great. So, we're now wearing a business suit. That's very important for the run, just for the aesthetic. Cory is now looking fresh to death. And, and I forgot, we're not supposed to leave the house. Cory's so fresh, he was like, I'm out of here, dude. I don't even care about the band anymore. I'm doing my own thing. So this is the final rhythm game. I know. Like, I bet you were just starting to like them, right? And now this is the last one. It's a shame. By the way, we had 2 misses. Oh, okay, we have 2 more misses there. We had 2 misses in the last one, so I think we're up to like $8, and now probably like 10 or 11. So, as I said, the rhythm part is a bit of a suggestion. We really don't want to fail this, which makes this a lot harder than it needs to be. Because, like, a rhythm game, when it works, is like very intuitive, you know, like your brain almost sort of operates independently of your motor skills, and you're just naturally able to pick up on when you should be hitting the notes. But because this is so offbeat, your brain isn't able to, like right there. I really wanted to do those in time with the music, but if I had done that, we would have failed. We would have absolutely failed that section. That would not have worked. So you kind of have to, like, do a little bit of detaching and just focus on the rings and not the not the song at all. Also, another earworm song, 100%. The original Osu. Okay. See, and then sometimes they give you these overlapping notes where you're like, how am I possibly supposed to make that work? The solos are kind of optional. We don't have to do these. But, you know, you might as well. The solos actually are probably the only thing that are kind of in time with the beat, but that's because they're not requiring you to press them at a specific time. Anytime they require you to press something at a specific time, it's way off beat. But hey. What do I know? From what the lead art... Oh, I didn't even see that. Just giving some extra money for the animals. Oh my goodness. The lead artist has said this is not his worst game. And he made the bold claim that Cheetah Girls is his worst game. So I'm glad to announce that for the next marathon, there was 5 there. So 5 plus, what was it, like 9? I think it's 14. I think it's 14 or 15. So Cheetah Girls is the next game I'll be running at the next Horrible Games marathon. But now we're Cory in a suit. We don't often get to see this. It's so swag. I can barely contain how awesome it is. So now we're Newt. And this is where the routing kind of gets a little strange in my brain. I'm just, you know, I'm not very good. Not very good at this game. No, I'm okay. I only recently learned, like, the correct route for this. Up until maybe yesterday or the day before, I was kind of just figuring it out as I went along. You know, it is Cory in the house. Like, what do you want from me? So now we're doing another keypad. This time we have all 5 keys to do. So, 0, 4, 6. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Pound, 5, 6. You know what? I'm gonna charge myself $1 for that. 161. So yeah, as I've just illustrated, if you mess up, if you misclick, you get sent back one of the keypads. So that probably costs about 10-15 seconds. Star 932. 932. Yeah, that was a pretty big one. Pounds 6 star 3. Pound 9090. Good RNG. So optimally, what you would want there, not that it really matters that much. Optimally, what you would want is all of the keys to be like right next to each other. Red to blue, yellow to green, purple to yellow, orange to purple, blue to red. Boom. Easy. So that way you don't have to travel as much. That way you're just going, like, you know, back and forth between two numbers. Although, I've talked with the world record holder, and we both agree, like, this run isn't really at a point where you're gonna be resetting on bad keypad RNG. It'd be crazy if it got to that point at some level, but for the time being, we have bigger issues in the run. Such as, for me, not remembering where to go. That's always a big issue. Okay. So now we're coming through here. There's another route I should be taking that's faster for this. Yes, this is emulator, by the way, for anybody wondering. Oh, please. So we're gonna come up here. Do another keypad. This is like 2 keypad minigames in a row, you know? Like, they didn't really even give us much time between the last keypad and this one. Once again, they're keypadding the runtime. 5903. Sorry about that. Okay. 1 pound, 6, 4. Nice. 20763. Cool. And now, coming up on our last Buzzy minigame. That's right. We're winding down here. We're almost there. Got 2 more bosses, a couple more minigames. We're done with the rhythm games. This is our last Buzzy. This is easily the hardest Buzzy. Which doesn't really mean much at all. It's still very easy. This one, they load you up with the batteries. Like, even... like, if I was a kid, right? If I was a kid playing this, I think, like, you know, my standards as a kid weren't very high, right? Nobody's are. You settle as a kid. You don't know anything. But I think even if I was a kid, I would have played this and I would have been like, this is not a good game. I would have been like, I don't like the fly part. That, like, it's easy and it's boring. Like, you know? What am I talking about? This is the best game ever. 10 out of 10. IGN. No, I think this has a 3 out of 10 on IGN. This is one of the few times that I agree with IGN. Usually, they're a little, generous, I would say. But, I'd say this time it's perfectly justified. Look at that. So much money in the vents, too. Like, none of this is really explainable. It doesn't make any sense. IGN giving a game not a 9 out of 10. Yes. Sorry, I gotta focus up. What am I doing? This is like some high intensity stuff. Oh, look at that. We clipped into the wall. Nice. Ooh, just playing the bongos with my fly. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to go a little wild there. Like I said, the best song in the game. If they sold this soundtrack on CD, I would play this song on loop. All right, and there's our last Buzzy, I think. Don't quote me. I don't know. I think that's our last Buzzy. And now we get to play as Newt. Or Cory, sorry. We don't play as Newt anymore. Now we're just Cory. Coming up on our last boss fight, this lady's name is Jessica? Samantha? I think it's Samantha. It's either Samantha or Jessica. Laugh track. So this boss follows a predetermined route, which hopefully we can take advantage of a little bit. Unless I stand on the wrong plane. So this game has the same fault that all isometric sort of games in this sort of genre have, where you can be lined up with something and think you're gonna hit it, but you're not actually lined up with it. It's like, it's always just a little bit off. So that was, what did we say her name was? Samantha? Samantha. That was Samantha. For anybody wondering, like, oh, who let this guy who doesn't know anything about this game play this game in this marathon? I do have second place as of yesterday on the leaderboards. I theoretically know what I'm talking about. Theoretically. Okay, now we're coming up on the final boss. Wisley, a boss, or a character who does not exist in the show, we don't think. I would love to be proven wrong on this. Citation needed, I would say. And if I do this right, we are in for a pretty good time. So once again, following a predetermined route that I just kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna get him up top. So he just kind of follows the same loop. Shoutouts again to 7AJK. He actually plotted out the full route that Wisley takes, which was really helpful in figuring out where I want to be dropping down my ink splotches. There's the final boss. I didn't even safety save. That was a little sus, but we did it. GG. Okay, final wires. Orange to white, red to orange, purple to green, blue to purple, white to yellow, green to red, and yellow to blue. Beautiful. I will say this time is looking pretty damn good. So now we just have a couple more things. Time will be coming up when we fade to black after we talk to the president. So we're going to go talk to the president, who thanks us for doing a great job saving humanity from Wisley's evil, Bluetooth-enabled Alexa bobbleheads. So we're going to go chat with the president, and how's it going? And when we fade to black, it's going to be time. So right about time. And that's Cory in the house on the DS.
GG?
For y'all. GG. Big GG.
That was absolutely brilliant. In a good way.
I hope you guys like that. And that is a tie with my current best, by the way. 56:28 is my PB as of yesterday. That's exactly 56:28.
Oh, congratulations. That was brilliant. To do that in a marathon run is really cool. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So, just some final closing words. Big shout-outs, as I said several times. 7AJK, a dude by the name of something like I Love Cory in the House, something like that. He also is a very good runner of this game, has helped optimize it. Shoutouts to Kyle Massey, obviously, Cory Baxter. Shoutouts to everybody in the chat. Shoutouts to everybody donating, everybody just watching. Shoutouts to everybody behind the scenes. Really much love to the tech crew. I know how hard putting together a marathon can be and all that. Yeah, let's keep those donations coming. We got a bunch more great runs on the way. And, oh yeah, I owe you guys like $15. Let's round up. I owe you guys like $20 for all those missed notes. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing that. And, yeah, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, well, before you go,
Oh.
if you don't mind, we would like to ask you a few questions. Just bear with us here. So we'll just
For
go
sure.
to the interview just now. And first of all, everyone, can you just what can we say? That was just a fantastic run. I enjoyed every second of that. I've never seen the game, never had a clue about what it was based on or anything, and yet it was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean it's deceptive kind of because despite being a cash grab game, it's not the worst out there. There are far Cheetah Girls, for example, is a worse cash grab game where they were like, oh yeah, this property is very popular right now. Let's just stick it in a game and even if it doesn't work, whatever. Um, so yeah, I mean it's not the worst game. It's a pretty fun speed game, mostly thanks to some of the recent strats and stuff that's been discovered. But yeah, it's been pretty fun to optimize actually.
Yeah, I mean, I was really enjoying watching some of the sort of bits and pieces you were doing there. But a question, you did mention it a little bit during the run. Am I right in saying this was your first speed game then? Was it, or is this the
Uh,
game that got you into speed running? No, not quite.
No, actually. Yeah, so, well, technically, my first speed game was Super Mario 64 back when I
Oh,
was in high
nice.
school.
Oh, wow,
And
nice.
it was, yeah, I still know a really outdated 16-star route that I still do from time to time. Um, but my first real game that I really started grinding and stuff and optimizing was Resident Evil 7. And this Cory in the House was actually it was Twitch has like the community channel points challenge sort of thing where you can have everybody pool their points together, and our challenge was basically if we raised enough points, I would have to learn the Cory in the House speed run. Um, and yeah, that's kind of how this came to be. But I'm very glad I did learn it because it's a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, as I say, it was definitely an experience. So with that in mind, then, what would you say? What other runs? What games do you tend to run more? Obviously, you run this game, but is this? I take it this is not a how shall I put it? That this is not a typical example of the sorts of games you run, or maybe it
uh,
is.
no, definitely not a typical example. I mean, I mostly run survival horror games, so like Resident Evil
Resident
7.
Evil.
Yeah, I I am the world record holder for knife only easy for Resident Evil 7.
Nice.
I've been doing a lot of village stuff lately. I do Silent Hill 2, a bunch of horror games. But my big mantra and like I try to repeat it a lot is speedrunning should be first and foremost fun for you, the runner. Don't grind yourself into paste doing something that you don't enjoy. And so my main criteria for when I'm learning a new speed game, or even if I'm just scoping it out to see what it might be like to learn the run, is it fun? And this game was surprisingly fun. Where I thought it was going to be like a 1 week thing and then we're done with it. But you know, after some time grinding it, I was like, oh, I really want to see my time get lower here, and I see where our time saves are, and I know what we can do better, and all that stuff. So I would say the main criteria, like I'll run anything, if it's fun. I'll run things that aren't even on a leaderboard if I'm having a good time with it. So yeah, speed running for me is just really about enjoyment. Make it fun for you. Make up a category if one doesn't exist. Do it your own way.
Can I just say that uh, what's the word? That is something that I really really feel. It's very much my own attitude when it comes to this. First and foremost is to have fun, and as long as you're
Mhm.
enjoying it, that's all that matters. And obviously, if people like to watch and enjoy the runs, and as I say, it was just so much fun to sit and watch that. Unfortunately, we are out of time though. But again, I would like to thank you, nyiddle, for an absolutely fantastic run. It was really cool. It was great to talk with you. Thank you for
Yeah.
your time. Thank you for being on the Horrible Games Marathon.
Hey, thank
And
you for having me. This was a
yeah,
great this was a great time.
it
Thank you
was,
guys so much for
yeah,
putting this on.
Oh, it's been fantastic, and as I say, we're benefiting the Heartland Animal Shelter. Absolutely fantastic cause, very very good, and it's always fun. One of the things I would like to say is that it's so much fun to have a hobby, a speed run that you can do. But not only are you enjoying it, but you're doing something good as well with it. You're raising funds for all these charities and
Yeah.
whatever. And I think that's really cool.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you so much again, Nyiddle. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interview there. Right, we're going to be moving on, folks. We have another run coming up just now. We have a Linkermeister with Mad Father. So stay with us, and we'll be back after this short intermission. Thank you very much again.